Hello and welcome to Reality Report, where we examine the technologies that will shape the next decade for industrial companies and build their smart digital reality. My name is Katerina, and today I'm here with Edgardo to have a talk about OT ICS Security. While IT cybersecurity often makes the headlines, the security of operational technology and industrial control systems is crucial for the facility's critical infrastructure. Cyber attacks are growing in numbers and in sophistication, but on the operational technology sides, defenses have yet to keep up, and consequences can be severe from accidents to blackouts and shutdown. This report is about power industry, part of critical infrastructure and tempting targets for cyber attacks. So, Edgardo, why is the power industry especially attractive to cyber attacks?
Yes. Hello, Katerina. Yes, we all know that the power industry is basically part of our daily lives. Everything in our society is so dependent on energy, including businesses and other critical infrastructure. And this is why the power industry has become very attractive for cyber criminals because disrupting the power supply could have severe, very severe and cascading consequences, and unfortunately, this could be used for financial gain, for political gain, and even for sabotage. Um, no wonder why in 2022, 10% of all the cyber attacks were targeting this industry sector. And so the risk is real. And as a matter of fact, one of the major threats of this industry sector are nation state sponsored attacks. Example of this is the 2015 cyber attack on Ukraine, where attackers successfully infiltrated the power distribution network, shutting down power for 225 people on a winter evening. Not too long ago, in 2022, the same country, Ukraine, announced that it had narrowly prevented a cyber attack that could have caused a blackout for over 2 million people. So you see, attacks like these raise concerns about the vulnerabilities of the power grid and the power industry and their consequences.
What do you think makes the power industry vulnerable?
Yes, good question. There's different factors and several reasons why it's so vulnerable. I'm gonna name one of them, so a few of them. But the reality is that the power industry is more vulnerable than ever before. And one of the reasons is that the critical infrastructure used to generate and distribute electricity has evolved, especially the smart grids. With the smart grids, the digitalization of the power industry has expanded its attack surface. And if there are tangible benefits about this digitalization, they don't come. These benefits don't come without new risk and new vulnerabilities that could be exploited by malicious actors. Another thing is that the cascading effects that you could have on the power grids, meaning that by taking control of one component or compromising one component of the grid, you could potentially gain control of other components and other systems, expanding the consequences and creating more effects. Another thing is that these facilities, they are spurred or they are dispersed through very vast and very long distances, very vast remote locations, as an example. So maintaining consistent cybersecurity practices across all these different locations, all these different places, is very challenging. And probably the most important one is that these critical facilities, they need to operate 24/7. So making updates and maintaining the systems on these facilities, like for example, implementing a patch to mitigate a vulnerability is quite challenging. It's not very easy. And as a matter of fact, in a survey carried out by the European Cybersecurity Agency, where they asked asset owners how long would it take them to patch a critical vulnerability, 53% of them said that it would take them anything from 1 to 6 months, and 11% more than 6 months. So as you can see, managing vulnerabilities and maintaining these systems is not an easy task.
Yeah, thank you very much for your overview. To address these risks, how can Hexagon help the power industry in its industrial environments?
Yes, at Exxon, we have dedicated solutions to enhance the security of critical infrastructure in general, including the power industry. If you see at one of the challenges, or one of the biggest challenges of this industry is having an inventory of the critical systems running their facility. Having a very detailed inventory, including hardware, software, and firmware, is one of the most fundamental steps of every cybersecurity program, because it allows you to determine the assets that you need to protect, the talent that you need to have in your workforce, budgets, and a lot of things are derived from inventory. The second major challenge for asset owners is how to manage risk or cost effectively manage risk on these facilities. We all know that no organization out there has unlimited resources. So on one hand, you have thousands of vulnerabilities for the reasons that and you have all these vulnerabilities, and on the other hand, you have limited resources that you can not, unfortunately, mitigate all the critical vulnerabilities. So it's a very difficult situation. Also the fact that you need to combine information from different sources, contextualize the information according to your business to properly manage risk is very difficult. As an example, you could have a critical vulnerability on customer A with some consequences and severities and impacts, and that same critical vulnerability on customer B, it doesn't necessarily have to have the same consequence. It could be totally different. So there's a lot of correlation and different things that you need to do according to your business. Managing vulnerabilities in these industrial environments is not very straightforward. And what customers and asset owners, they need is situational awareness. Basically, if I have a budget to spend, I have limited resources, where is that budget and those limited resources, better spent and better put to use? And this is one of the things that we can help our customers with Hexagon Cybersecurity Solutions Cyber Integrity. It allows you to collect inventory of your critical systems, and it provides a risk-based vulnerability management approach that enables customers to mitigate and to address the vulnerabilities that they reduce the greatest risk, so they can keep their facilities more safe and more resilient. Another thing, and this is, in my opinion, the real game changer, is using the information from all these security solutions and combining it with other operational solutions, operational technology, and serve that as a backbone to the operations in the business, such as digital twins. As an example, a digital twin could represent the entire power grid. And by collecting data from different sources, sensors and industrial control systems, we could get a better state of the power grid, and detect deviations and potential vulnerabilities. It's a very powerful combination because, we can pretty much proactively assess cyber risk and physical risk. We could also simulate attack scenarios and their consequences and impacts, the severities, etc. We could also identify potential weak points like an out-of-date software or an unsecure configuration before it can be exploited by a malicious actor. So you see, by combining information from all these different sources, sensors, control systems, information management systems, we can get a better picture of the power grid cybersecurity posture. And this is something that Hexagon is a leader on this with this is a smart digital reality vision.
Very clear. Thanks, Edgardo, for this overview of the challenges and cyber risks in the power industry. If you have questions or remarks, post them in the comments and see you soon for our next episode of Reality Report.